Welcome to Tee to Green, brought to you by Cleary Building Corp., American Family Insurance, Bruner Realty, Callaway Golf, the First Tee of South Central Wisconsin, and Middleton Ford.
It's a typical day in Wisconsin. You know, the sun is nowhere to be found. It's about 45 degrees, and here I am in shorts. One might have to question my own sanity. I know that's been done before. The tips that you've seen from Derek and Zach have been right on. And for golfers of their level, it makes an awful lot of sense. When you've got about 30 or 40 yards, maybe 50 to the green, you're not really sure what to do. So a lot of times you get a little quick. I've been known to do that, and you hit it right in the belly of the ball. And you don't get it on the green, and now you're frustrated. You want to throw your club. What's the next option? Well, the next option could be the old flat stick. Remember, a bad putt is always better than a bad chip. That's the essence of my game.
Don't worry, we'll fix it in post.
One final shot with the old flat stick. And there it is. How simple is that? Want more Tee to Green TV? Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for episodes, bloopers, pro tips, and more. Now see, it's amazing what one can do with a little practice. It's all about the practice. Practice, practice, practice. So if you practice it, you might not have to chip it. But, you know, it is unorthodox.
I think it might just be like, you know, a video trick is what I really think it is. You know, when they run footage for 5 hours and then you finally get something to look at.
I'm going to date myself, but I'm old. Rod Serling, it's called the Twilight Zone. Now, speaking of the Twilight Zone, we're going to go into the future because Callaway is liquid fire, red hot nowadays with all of the new equipment. We're going to talk to one of their experts.
And I can tell you the off season here for me has been a difficult one as somehow I left one family and joined another. And our good friend Del from Callaway is going to be here to kind of talk to you about all the equipment and me being a part of the new Callaway family. The Epic driver, man. It's the real deal.
It's epic. I mean, even an old
deal.
cuss like me has got one in the bag too, and it's pretty good. So
Don't tell people that.
Exactly.
Thank
so
you.
Stay tuned. We've got that and a whole lot more on Tee to Green.
Now let's take a moment to get to know your hosts.
I didn't start playing golf till I was 25 years young. Thus, my unique swing. I was at Channel 3 doing the sports Monday through Friday, 6 and 10 for almost 20 years. Hosted coaches shows, did play-by-play, and really found a niche for myself. This show has given us an opportunity to convey to our viewers our passions for golf, helping with the Balance and Belief Foundation, and about the give. But it has made me feel a little bit younger here, and that's been a lot of fun,
I was born into a golf family, and my dad happened to actually be the head golf professional here. I was fortunate enough to be hired by Sean Toulon in a company called Zevo, where we were pioneering club fitting throughout the entire country. As I went through kind of my dark time of my life where I went to rehab and things like that, I got an incredible education at Hazelden. And it teaches you about balance. I was going to make a run at taking young kids and kind of not fixing them, but showing them that there are so many different components in your life and you get yourself in balance that you could probably play some better golf without really working on your golf swing. You know, from my dad and what I learned here to what Hazelden then gave me to then blend it together and find out that, you know, teaching golf and being around people was what was, you know, quite honestly going to save my life. And that's what it did, was save my life. Why would I turn that down? That was awesome.
You know, Andy, 1978 was a great year for both of us. Cleary Building Corp got its start and you won the U.S. Open. Wouldn't it be great to go back in time?
I can do that. Hop in. Let's ride.
And North wins the U.S. Open because it's built Cleary tough.
Whoa! That was awesome. See the rest of the story at clearybuilding.com.
When we decided to sell our home, we didn't really know where to start. So we contacted Bruner Realty to help make the process less stressful.
Our Bruner Realty agent came in, learned about us and our home,
created a customized marketing plan, and in just 5 days had accepted offer on our home.
Our agent always kept us in the loop, and the service they provided was both professional and personal.
We would definitely recommend Bruner Realty to anyone looking to buy or sell their home in the future.
Next on West 1, we have...
Looking for a game? Now you can join Sherry Steinhauer, Jerry Kelly, Andy North, and Steve Stricker and become part of the Champions Club of the First Tee of South Central Wisconsin. Go to thefirstteescw.org or ask about us at your favorite golf club. Join Sherry, Jerry, Andy, and Strick in the Champions Club.
I'm Sherry Steinhauer. Join me and support the First Tee of South Central Wisconsin.
You're up.
The Payroll Company, your source for the best-in-class HCM technology, HR outsourcing, and retirement plan administration.
Welcome back to Tee to Green. We're joined by Del Kolasinski with Callaway. There's the prop. You oversee sales in the entire state of Wisconsin. It seems like Callaway stock this year, at least as far as the calendar changing from 16 to 17, has gone off the charts. I would imagine a lot of that is as a result of just the great product development that you guys have been doing back at the shop, those R&D guys, huh?
Correct. Once R&D was unleashed to do their thing, it's definitely going to be an epic 2017.
Nice play on words there, okay, in honor of the driver, the epic driver. Talk about how that technology has really taken over a lot of guys on tour that were using a previous driver that have now switched to this, and they might not be a Callaway person, but they're using your driver.
Right. Well, the secret to what's making Epic so revolutionary in the driver category is jailbreak. Essentially what we came across is finding a way to keep the structure of the driver, the sole and the crown, from wanting to separate slightly at impact that occurs with every driver regardless of the brand. So by creating these two 3-gram titanium rods that connect the sole to the crown, it's allowed the face to operate more efficiently. Mm-hmm. Hence, golfers are seeing ball speed increases and longer distance. Another great thing of it is the feedback on how consistently straight it is. So it's a very forgiving product too. And really what allowed this to happen is another key Callaway technology, the use of carbon composite materials on the golf club. We use what's called triaxial carbon composite, and basically it's a 3-way woven carbon fiber that's really strong and really light. So it allows those R&D guys to really be excited because they got all this extra weight that they can play around with and move around to make a better performing product.
You know, Callaway has had some down years. And then you guys put together a performance team, and you're seeing this resurgence, not just of the driver and the technology, but really your brand. Talk about that leadership team that's been put together.
I'd say that's primarily been driven by our CEO, Chip Brewer. You know, Chip joined the company about 5 years ago now, and Chip is a golf industry veteran and a very passionate product person. So essentially what he did is the investment of money, time, and people in R&D, and really allowing them to be free with their ideas and thoughts and take the handcuffs off financially and just let them make the greatest product that they are very proud of and putting that out into the marketplace. And you know, you put a great leadership team around him, and that's really been the change within the company.
Hey, thank you for joining us. I have a feeling I have oracular powers, which means I can look into the future, whatever that means, I don't know. But I have a feeling that you will be joining us again in the very near future to talk about, you know, this hinge. When I broke my arm, I had a hinge or something like that, but it's on the putters. But anyway, Del understands it. That's all we need to worry about because he'll explain it, okay? Don't worry about it, Lucy. He'll do the explaining, all right? Thanks for joining us. We'll continue with Tee to Green in just a moment.
All buildings are not created equal. With Cleary, the sky's the limit. We can customize and create anything you can imagine. From exclusive high-clearance truss technology to state-of-the-art office space, and even storage for your toys. One thing has not changed in 36 years, and that's our customer service. We treat you like family because we want our relationship to last a lifetime. Visit the allnewclarybuilding.com to see thousands of options today.
We don't have a lot of grocery stores here in our neighborhood, and we want our neighbors to have access to good things at affordable prices.
The only thing easy in our community is fast food.
Wow.
Well, hello.
We're here to offer some help.
Welcome.
Retirement, huh?
I mean, look at the size of this thing. Who doesn't need a sweet potato that size?
They took the time to care what our project was about.
There you go.
And that was something that I'll truly treasure.
PGA Junior League Golf is a fun and innovative program designed to introduce kids to golf.
So much fun. It was really fun. It's really fun.
Boys and girls aged 13 and under of all skill levels wear numbered jerseys and play as a team in a fun, social, and inclusive environment.
Accomplishing something as part of a team is more fun than doing it on your own.
To learn more about PGA Junior League Golf, go to pgajlg.com.
It seems like every financial company talks about investing your way to wealth. But what about protecting what you're building right now? At Northwestern Mutual, we know the importance of doing both. We combine personalized investment solutions that help grow your wealth with world-class insurance that protects what matters most to you. This whole picture approach is just one of the reasons 96% of our clients stay with us year after year. At Northwestern Mutual, we help you live life differently.
Nevada Bob's, your game, your store. #1 in service, selection, and always at the best price.
My name is Derek Schnarr, founder of the Balance and Believe Foundation. Years ago, I started this foundation to help promote junior golf while raising money for the community. Throughout the summer, you'll see lots of different golf tournaments at our golf courses here in Madison. Thankfully, our golf professionals donate those golf courses, so as the kids play, they're raising money for the community. If you'd like to help these children raise some money and make a difference in the community, please go to our website and make a donation.
Here's your Tee to Green Pro Tip.
It is now time for the Pro Tip of the Week, brought to you by the Wisconsin PGA. Let me tell you about putting a little bit. So many people think they're bad putters, but one of the things you should do right away is go see one of your local golf professionals and actually get fit for a putter. I have 3 in front of me. Odyssey at Callaway has actually added Sean Toulon to the research and development team, and I'll tell you what, their putters are awesome. They are all over the place on the PGA Tour. Right here, what you're looking at is 3 different models, and the reason why I brought these 3 models out is to show you how, if I hang them off my finger, you can see how the toe of the putter hangs a little bit differently on this one than it may on this one. See how this one's up a little bit higher, and then on this one. So if I start with this one, this is called a face balance putter, and what this is for is if your putting stroke is moving a little bit more back and forth, and that's what everybody tries to do, but your putting stroke more often than not actually arcs in and then arcs back to the ball. This putter is designed specifically for one that goes back and forth. This putter here is designed, this is the one that I actually use, and my putting stroke likes to arc in a little bit, so you can see that the toe is hanging a little bit, and the reason why it does that is so as the putter works back to the ball, the toe actually swings the putter back to square. If you look at this one here, this is for somebody that really arcs the putter in as it goes back, again, the stroke moving in towards the right toe, and then back to square as it gets closer to the ball. This here, the putter will actually start to square itself that way. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a tip right after this that is gonna show you how these putters work. I got Zach Goggard here, a good friend of mine. He's gonna do a little bit of demonstrating for us. So as we were talking, the putter has so much to do with whether or not you are gonna make any putts. So the first one that he has here is the one that had a lot of toe drag. And one of the things I think that a lot of people at home forget to do is they're always worried about what they're doing with their body without really knowing how the putter is supposed to work. So these two clubs that you have on the ground here, you have them in your bag at home, you can use them as a target line so you can actually see what your putter is doing. So I encourage you at home, get a couple clubs out, put them on the green, line them up so that you have a straight putt, and then kind of watch how your putter works. So the first one he's going to do here is the one that had a lot of toe drag. So as he putts this, you're going to see the putter arc in towards the grip of the club closest to him. And then the putter swings itself back to square. Now we have one that has a little bit less toe drag. So this one, as you're watching, is going to arc towards that grip of the club closest to him a little less. Same results, and then we're going to go into what we call the face balance putter, and this is one you should see go more straight back and straight through. And there you have it. Make sure you go see your local golf professional, get yourself fit for a putter, make sure it fits the stroke that you currently use. Don't always try to change yourself. Maybe there's a putter out there that fits you for the way you like to stroke the putt. And that's a tip from a pro, brought to you by the Wisconsin PGA.
Welcome back to Tee to Green TV. I'm joined now by Jerry Kelly. Jerry, thanks for being with us here today. You know, I remember when you were just a little kid and covering junior golf and what have you. Now, a few years later, is it still staggering for you to know that the success that you have had on both tours, and you're still a rookie on the Champions Tour, but you've almost earned $30 million through your career? Is that kind of mind-boggling even to this day?
Yeah, I tell my wife this often. I mean, we actually say this together, but I'll be on a tee and look around and go, wow, I'm on the PGA Tour. And I mean, it's been 22, 23 years on the PGA Tour and 28 years of professional. It is crazy to see me as one of the, I think they said 4 guys who have kept their card that long in that span. So it's very strange.
You've had fun during that. I mean, you've seen your son grow up while you've been on tour, but it's been a fun ride for you. I mean, you have fun, you wear your emotions on your sleeve, and I think that's why you've been very popular at a lot of the PGA Tour stops, because when Jerry Kelly's there, they're going to get a show.
They're going to get a show. You know, it's not all smiles, as you know.
No.
I mean, I'm an extremely fiery competitor, and you know, I hear a lot of the people that want to see the fun and the smiles out there, but I'm tooth and nail, and I've always had to be tooth and nail. That's what's kept me out there this long. You know, and I'm going to grind it out. If I'm not playing well, I'm not happy about not playing well, but you know, there's always those moments of levity and having fun, and something good's going to happen, and I'm going to show that as well. So it is emotions on the sleeve, both good and bad, and that's helped and hurt my career, yet I know those emotions have only helped it, because I've needed that.
When things are going good, we want to go with the good. So we're going to continue our interview with Jerry Kelly in just a moment.
I was one of the first to play Chrome Soft. It's long, extremely soft, and unbelievably easy to control. I could tell right away it was a different kind of ball. But some golfers have not even tried Chrome Soft. Let me ask you something. If you're not willing to change, how can you expect to get better? Chrome Soft. It's the ball that changed the ball.
Locally owned and a family dealership, that's Middleton Ford. For over 7 decades, Middleton Ford has been there for thousands of customers that have now become a part of their family. It starts with outstanding service and customer satisfaction. New or used, fleet vehicles, hybrids, or the popular F-150 truck at Middleton Ford, they'll treat you right. From the moment you step onto their lot and into their showroom, you can start and end your search for the right vehicle at Middleton Ford. MiddletonFord.com. Remember, if you don't see the Middleton Ford logo, you've paid too much.
Before I joined the First Tee, the only sport I ever did was surfing channels. I used to get C's and D's. Now I'm planning for a BA in history.
I've learned a lot at the First Tee. I even learned how to play golf.
Put a golf club in a young person's hands and watch them grow. At the First Tee, we instill values like confidence, judgment, respect, and integrity. Values they learn from golf, but take with them for the rest of their lives. Find out how you can get involved today.
PGA Junior League Golf is a fun and innovative program designed to introduce kids to golf.
So much fun. It was really fun. It's really fun.
Boys and girls aged 13 and under of all skill levels wear numbered jerseys and play as a team in a fun, social, and inclusive environment.
Accomplishing something as part of a team is more fun than doing it on your own.
To learn more about PGA Junior League Golf, go to pgajlg.com.
Tee to Green is brought to you by Cleary Building Corp.
Back on Tee to Green and back with Jerry Kelly. In your near 3 decades as a professional player, you've certainly seen a lot of changes, in the game, in the technology for the game and what have you. But in the state of Wisconsin, where you're born and bred, there have been numerous changes here. I mean, we're seeing the U.S. Open in Wisconsin for the first time ever, PGA Championships, on down the line. The Ryder Cup comes to Wisconsin. What about the state of the game in the state that's near and dear to your heart?
Wisconsin golf is on the map. We, as a group, Stricker, Kendall, Miley, Hayes, myself, we put, and let me preface that by saying Andy North and Sherry Steinhauer.
Sure.
I mean, they're the ones who gave us the impetus to actually, know that we could do it. We were on the competitive map, but the courses were older, smaller, and not the championship style. So when Herb Kohler came around and built Black Wolf Run and then Whistling Straits, it was a golf destination. But now we've got Erin Hills. Now we've got Sand Valley. I mean, that's a great trifecta, a little triangle for people to come in, and they will. It's the state of the game in Wisconsin is great. The American Family Championship is only helping that. Madison rallied behind that tournament last year, and all of the players said, other than 2 majors, it was the best attended event, and really they had some of the most fun they've had on tour in Madison, and that says a lot for this community, and I think it can only keep getting better.
One final question for you. Your competitive streak is as long as the day is. You look into your own crystal ball, how much longer do you want to try to play for? I mean, you got guys, look at Bernhard Langer. I mean, that guy, he seems to defy age. Do you see yourself playing into your 60s?
I feel like I can play till I'm 60. I'm not going to stop playing.
Sure.
Something's going to stop me from playing. I love to compete that much. And as long as my son is doing all right, he's going off to college this year, and my wife will be traveling with me again, and it'll be like rookie year again. I don't see any reason to stop. If there's a reason that Carol and I can't be together, that might be a good reason for me to stop. Because I'd rather be with her and be a family unit like that than playing golf. But if we can do it together, it's a win-win.
That's a bonus. Great catching up with you. Appreciate it, Jerry. Okay?
Enjoyed it.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Tee to Green TV will continue in just a moment.
When I wake up in the morning, love, the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you. It's all right. With me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
As first-time homebuyers, working with Bruner Realty was an incredible experience.
In this market, buying a home can be really stressful, but our agent was professional, was available 24/7, and worked really hard to get us our dream home, all while staying within our budget. Our agent worked around our difficult schedules and always put our needs and priorities above his own.
If anyone we know is looking to buy or sell a home in the future, we wouldn't hesitate to recommend Bruner Realty.
You can talk about technology and go on about your innovation. You can tell golfers you're the longest and claim to be the best. Or you can build something that's truly epic. Introducing Jailbreak. It's redefined how the head and face react at impact. It's transformative speed, and it's only in Epic. From Callaway.
Locally owned and a family dealership, that's Middleton Ford. For over 7 decades, Middleton Ford has been there for thousands of customers that have now become a part of their family. It starts with outstanding service and customer satisfaction. New or used, fleet vehicles, hybrids, or the popular F-150 truck at Middleton Ford, they'll treat you right. From the moment you step onto their lot and into their showroom, you can start and end your search for the right vehicle at Middleton Ford. MiddletonFord.com. Remember, if you don't see the Middleton Ford logo, you've paid too much.
Tee to Green is brought to you by Cleary Building Corp. Here's your weekly Tee to Green fitness tip.
Welcome back to Tee to Green. I'm Christina Schnarr, the Fitness and Wellness Director with Balance and Believe. I'm here today with Zach Goggert, our pro golfer. He is going to do an exercise for you to help you guys get golf ready. We're going to start today with a forward lunge. So Zach's going to step forward. You're going to come down into your lunge, 90-degree angle on that front knee, 90-degree angle on that back knee. Abs are tight, shoulders are back, back is really straight. Pull that core in. He's going to step back and he's going to step forward with the other leg. Perfect form. Keep going. What he's doing is building strength in his lower body. This will be used on a day like today when it's super windy to help get a super stable base in your golf swing. When you're starting out your workout routine, probably 8 to 10 reps on each leg. As you get a little bit stronger and more comfortable in your workout, move up to 15 reps to 20 reps per leg. 2 sets, 2 to 3 sets, and you should be doing these workouts 3 times a week just to get that strong base and get you out there on the golf course. Zach, how has this particular exercise helped you in your golf game?
Strengthening the lower body has been really important, especially on a day like today when it's super windy, to build a really stable base and help me gain more power and more distance.
Thanks for tuning in this week to the Tip of the Week. We'll see you guys next week.
I'll tell you, if people pay attention throughout the course of our season here, they're going to pick up a lot of valuable information, and even for a dummy like me, it can't hurt. It can only help. Wait and may God rest. Okay?
Hey, keep it simple. Look at the dimple.
Exactly.
But we got some big stuff coming up here. Vitense and the technology. I think everywhere, every publication you're reading, you're seeing it on the Golf Channel. Top Golf, man, it's everywhere. And what Vitense has done is they went out and got the software and they got Pro Tracer over there. So we're going to have a nice little segment with Ryan Ranget talking about what they got over there, the improvements. Basically, an outdoor simulator. And all I can tell you is, with the new technology, I was just thrilled you weren't there to do anything wrong with it, man.
Did you say simulator or stimulator?
Well, for either or.
Okay, or cattle prod. Okay, hey, plenty to stay tuned for, so make sure you join us next week for Tee to Green TV.
Want more Tee to Green TV? Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for episodes, bloopers, pro tips, and more.
Tee to Green supports the Balance and Believe Foundation. To learn more or donate, visit bandbfoundation.org. Tee to Green is brought to you by Cleary Building Corp., Nevada Bobs, Northwestern Mutual, The Payroll Company, University Ridge Golf Course, and the Wisconsin State Golf Association and the Wisconsin PGA.